Happy Monday night to everybody. I hope all of you are doing fantastic as the week has gotten started again. I'm in the office in Cleveland, and we are getting ready for a very exciting fall season. And as you saw some of the tickers and the banners coming up, please don't forget to share this with friends and families and pastors and youth groups because I have some very exciting updates for you. But before I jump into some of the things that I want to share with you and update you on. I do want to just tell you about what's taken place the last couple of weeks. We had a fantastic revival in Poca, West Virginia. It was supposed to go 2 nights, and it actually went 2 weeks. And it was in Poca, West Virginia, at the Bridge Church, Pastor Mike Ramsey, and just some things that took place that weekend. I was astonished at what the Lord did. It came very unexpected. Many people ask me, do you expect revivals to get extended, or does it just happen when it happens? And I would say it just happens when it happens. I'm always going with an expectation to just go as long as Jesus is saying to go and do whatever he's saying to do. And so it went for 2 weeks. It was supposed to go 2 nights, and so their camp meeting just continued. But guys, we had an amazing time. 117 people were baptized in water. Okay. And among those 117 people are endless testimonies, stories of miraculous healing, stories of people coming home. In fact, the Lord in the altar one of those nights had shown me a vision of a man at a church camp when he was very young, and it was actually the church camp that he had gotten saved. And the Lord was sharing with me that this man was in the room, and that it was time for him to come home. He had walked away from the Lord, and it was time for him to come home. And so I just spoke to the people and said, "This is what the Lord is showing me in a vision. I see this man sitting in a field, reading his Bible at a church camp that he gave his heart to the Lord at. You were very young, and now you've advanced in age, and you're running from the Lord, and you weren't supposed to be here tonight, and it's time to come home." And a man came walking from the back of the room, gave his heart back to Jesus, got baptized. So it was just stories like that are endless. And so we had a great time with Pastor Mike and some wonderful young people that are there. We had the opportunity to pour into some of the young people that go to church there. Several young people got called to ministries of various kinds, whether it was evangelism or prophetic or worship ministry. And so, always an honor to work with young firebrands that are raising up all over Appalachia and of course even beyond. We were I keep going back to the youth conference we did in Oklahoma in February. Some fantastic young people there. Were 72 people were baptized, and so I see some people commenting, and I pray that all of you are doing well. Glad to see all of you tonight. Cameron Boggs is watching. Cameron is a dear friend of mine, and he'll be excited about what I'm going to be sharing in just a little bit. And Cameron was just in Louisiana at the R3 conference that I had the honor of ministering at last year with Pastor Lee Weatherly. I don't know if you would want me to call him a pastor. He's more of a youth apostle, if you will. Operates very much in the apostolic, more of an evangelist, I should say. But that's a fantastic place, fantastic people, and I love you, Cameron. Cannot wait to see you very soon for some great things that are coming up. And so Poca was wonderful. I've just gotten back to Cleveland so I can get some things ready for what's coming up next. Not this weekend, but next weekend. If you are close to this area, I want you to mark your calendars. September 24th to 27th. You've seen it advertised. You've seen we've been posting a little bit about it. But I want you to come with me and join us in Sandusky, Ohio, with Pastor Dustin Hours at New Life Church. They've moved buildings. Last time we were there was early March. Actually just 2 Sunday services. We had a great time there. I don't even know how many people were baptized in that one day. We had a morning and an evening service, and I think we only baptized in the evening service. And so we had a great revival night there. And so they're bringing us back next weekend. It'll be a Sunday to Wednesday. Okay, so Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. The service times, I don't want to get them mixed up, but the service times, of course, everything that you would want to know about that is on our website. So we're going to have a great time up there. If you're close to Sandusky, or you know people that are close to Sandusky, I know most of you watching are from other areas, but if you're close to Sandusky, or within a couple hours, if you don't know where that is about 45 minutes west of Cleveland. It's actually where Cedar Point is located. And so if you're close to that area, we want you to be with us. It's going to be a really great revival week, and who knows what the Lord has in store. I am preparing for anything. And I know Pastor Dustin is preparing for anything. We've been very much in contact over the last few weeks. Every pastor I have the honor of ministering for is always excited about what the Lord is going to do in our revival meetings. But I don't know if I've been with someone as excited as Pastor Dustin is. I'm just going to tell you now, this man has been praying and fasting and seeking God, and he has his people praying and fasting and seeking God. And so you want to be a part of this great revival weekend. So Sandusky, Ohio, next weekend, uh, September 24th to 27th. Now, here's some things that I want to share with you. I'm trying to make this quick, but also not rush it, because I know that it's Monday night, and many of you, some of you I see are even watching this at work. And if you have any questions about anything that I'm sharing tonight, please put those questions in the comments, or of course, shoot our ministry an email. Our team is watching this, and they'll be happy to assist you with anything you might need. All right, let's talk about something that I am very, very excited for, and that is, of course, the Fall Firebrand Conference that is coming up, guys, in 46 days. Okay, in 46 days, believers from all over the country, I would say the region, but we have some people that are coming from outside of Appalachia that I'm aware of. And so believers from all over the country are gathering in Charleston, West Virginia, October 27th and 28th. It's a Friday, Saturday conference at the Marriott Hotel in Charleston, West Virginia. You've seen us posting about this a lot. The reason I told you that Cameron Boggs would be excited about that is because he's one of multiple ministers that we're going to be having at this conference. He's going to be leading worship at one of the sessions, and we will have a lot more updates for you as the days and weeks go on about who's coming, who's preaching. I'll be preaching twice, but we'll have some surprises for you as we move on. But Cameron Boggs is the first of those, and sooner or later, here in the next maybe a couple of weeks, he and I maybe will do a video together where we can just talk about our expectation for this. But we are excited for what Jesus is going to do in 46 days in Charleston, West Virginia. Again, this is our first annual Fall Firebrand Conference. I want to talk to you a little bit about that. And I really want to lay into this, answer some questions that people have asked me, because it's 46 days sounds like a long way, but it's right around the corner. When I started this project and launched the conference, I think we were right at 90 days, maybe just a little bit under 90 days. And so, guys, half of that is gone already. And so you know how quickly things fly by. What I do want to share with you, though, and update you on, is that as of right now, 378 people have registered for this conference. So that's the excitement of the people. They're not interested in maybe who's preaching or who's leading worship per se, although that is important. What they're excited about is the presence of Jesus that's going to be in the room. And I'm thrilled to see that many people excited about that. Again, 378 tickets registered for this so far. And so we are excited. Churches are going to be bringing youth groups. Youth pastors are going to be coming with their people. Pastors are going to be bringing their congregations, because this is not a church event. It's not a denominational event. This is an event for the body of Christ. This is an event that's hosted by our ministry in a neutral location. We want anyone who's hungry for Jesus, anyone who has a hunger for revival. This is young people. This is saints that have been praying for revival for decades. I am honored and grateful to know many saints across the nation, some of them of which are partners of our ministry, who have prayed for revival and sought after God for awakening in the United States for 20 or 30 or even 40 years right now, and they will be attending this conference. And so this is young people, this is saints, this is in between, this is anyone who has a passion for Jesus and a passion to see revival in their communities, in their homes, in churches and families. This is for firebrands. You might say, what is a firebrand? Well, it's anyone who's fiery about the things of God, anyone who's passionate. I don't want to call it a passion conference. It's a firebrand conference. People who are on fire for Jesus. It's a conference for believers. And so we're excited for what Jesus is going to do. And so I want to give you a couple of specifics about that in just a couple of minutes. But this is going to be a conference that will equip you. This is going to be a conference of encounter. I was reading in Acts 1 earlier. Now, this is a very you could say Pentecostal thing to read. But Acts 1:8 simply says that when the Holy Spirit comes upon you, you'll receive power. And we always quote that part. But what does he give us power to do? He gives us power to be his witnesses in all the uttermost parts of the earth. Now, that Greek word for witness is actually a legal witness that you would see in a court of law, someone that actually had to eyewitness and see the event. So you might be saying, well, how can I be a witness for Jesus? I did not eyewitness him. These are people. Listen, a witness is someone who encountered something. A witness is someone who experienced something. So you better believe and you better expect that when you come to this Firebrand conference, you are not going to experience an evangelist or a worship leader or apostolic leadership, although all of that will be in the room. You're going to experience and encounter Jesus. If you experience Nick Walker Ministries, you can't be a witness for Jesus. You have to experience Jesus. You have to encounter Jesus. You can know your Bible and know theology and have all the knowledge in the world, but if you don't encounter the one whose eyes are like fire, you cannot be a legal witness according to the way that is worded. And so we want you to come expecting an encounter with Jesus at this Firebrand conference. If you are someone who's in ministry and maybe you've grown tired and weary, I want you to come expecting a refreshing. In the book of Acts, in the 3rd chapter, he says times of refreshing would come upon believers. And so I'm expecting this to be a time of equipping, a time of encounter, and a time of refreshing. Pastors, I'm calling out to you, you who have faithfully shepherded flocks all over the country. I'm encouraging you and your wives and your congregations to come and experience this time of refreshing. You're going to go home refreshed, energized, and inspired to take the next step. And you're also going to go home with strategy, not just going home excited about what Jesus is doing, but you're going to go home with strategy about how to implement these things in your community and in your church. We have a lot of great things in store that you just have to be there to witness. And people have asked me, is it going to be live streamed? It is not going to be live streamed. This is for people who are in the room. I think over the last 3 years, we have missed so much because we've been so we've been so holding so faithfully to the live stream on Facebook Live. A lot of churches go Facebook Live, and while there's nothing wrong with that, it reaches more people. We cannot idolize the live stream technology. There's just something you can't get unless you're in the room. We should not forsake the gathering together of ourselves, as what the book of Hebrews says. And so while the live stream is a good thing, that is not that it would not be conducive for this conference. And so the people who are in the room will get to experience this. We are so excited. I'm excited for what Jesus is going to do at this conference. If I haven't said that already, I am just full of expectation. The more I talk about it, the more excited I get. There's also going to be a time of commissioning. If you feel called to ministry and you're ready to take that step into whatever it is the Lord has called you into, there's going to be a time of impartation where we're praying for the baptism of the Holy Spirit, commissioning believers to walk into their assignment. So a lot of great things are going to take place in this short time. If you haven't heard the schedule yet, it's going to be Friday night, October 27th at 6 p.m. The doors, of course, will open an hour prior to every service. And so Friday at 6 p.m., Charleston Marriott. And then on Saturday, we kick off our day at 10 a.m. There's going to be a 10 a.m. service, a 2 p.m. service, and a 7 p.m. service. So there's going to be 4 services in 2 days. It's going to be a packed schedule. But Charleston is a great place to do this conference. There's many places to take a lunch break, take a dinner break, and come back ready to experience Jesus in this time. We're very excited. And again, this is not hosted by any particular church, any particular denomination. Nick Walker Ministries is hosting this conference. We're just believing for hungry believers to show up. We're expecting anyone who's hungry for Jesus that's heard about this conference to make plans to be there. Now let's talk about some specifics. People have asked me, do I have to book a room to be able to attend? No, anybody can attend this conference, even if you're not staying at the Marriott. However, if you want to stay at the Marriott, if you're coming from out of town and you want a place to stay, we just released earlier this week a really, really great room deal that you can have while normally they would say while supplies last. So while the rooms are still available, guys, you need to go on the website and book your room. You can go to nwministries.com. You can click on the itinerary, and when you find the Firebrand conference, There you'll be able to register, and you'll also be able to book your room. Now, the really cool thing about this Marriott room block is, as of right now, until they run out of rooms, it's $120 a night. That's fantastic for the typical Marriott price. And so you'll be able to have a room at a very discounted rate if you go and book your rooms now. Now, guys, that deal is only going to last until September 27th. So you have about a little over 2 weeks to book rooms for your youth group. Of course, there are many hotels in the area, but we really would like you to stay there on site with us. You wouldn't really have to leave until you went to get lunch. So that'd be a great place for you to be in your room and at the venue, of course, at the same time. Now, I mentioned when we launched this conference earlier, there is free parking for everyone, not just people staying. There's free parking for everybody. Okay. Again, free parking for everybody. If you've never been to Charleston, you know, what you don't know is that you cannot park in Charleston for free anywhere. They will make sure they get money from you for parking somewhere. But the Marriott has been very gracious with us. They are excited about ministry coming to this town. The people I've worked with have been wonderful, and they're excited about revival coming to their area. And so they're trying to accommodate as best they can. So if you come for the conference, there will be people in the parking garage ready to meet you with a parking pass of some sort. Still working out the details on that, but nonetheless, you have free parking if you're coming to attend the event at the Marriott's parking garage. We're very grateful for that. And again, you don't have to book a room to stay. You don't have to book a room to get free parking. That's just for anybody who's wanting to attend the event. Now, I see that there are several pastors watching. I want to encourage you. I need your help promoting this event. We're doing live streams. We're posting on Facebook all that we can do. We got some other promotional content being created right now. But I want you to share this with your congregations. I want you to share this with your churches. I want you to share this with your youth pastors and say, youth pastor, you don't have to go far off to get your kids fired up for Jesus any longer, because there is now a conference in West Virginia that's going to do just that. Maybe that's one of the things I'm most excited about. Many people think that they have to go to a conference in Orlando or a conference here in Cleveland where I'm at, or a conference in Hamilton, Alabama. And those are really great, incredible places where the presence of Jesus is almost literally tangible. But my heart is to bring that to the mountains. I want to have that same experience in West Virginia. And I believe that we can, and we're going to. If you come to the Marriott, you're going to experience that fire of Holy Spirit. So we're very excited for all that Jesus is going to do there. Now, I want to share with you something that I haven't even shared this yet. To be honest with you, when I launched the conference several weeks ago, I forgot to even tell you about this opportunity. This is an opportunity to worship the Lord, of course, in giving. And there is a way to give to this conference, and this is a free conference. This is something I've always said when I have a revival or a conference of any kind, I do not want to charge anyone to come. So this is, again, when I say free, I mean free. The only thing you'll have to pay for is, of course, your travel and lodging and food, but you do not have to pay to get in the door. And we're really just doing a registration so that we can have an accurate head count. Like I'm able to tell you right now that almost 400 people have expressed interest in this conference. So we're just doing it for headcount purposes. But this is a conference that's going to have a pretty heavy bill to foot, and so we're going forward with it. We're making moves to do that, and I'm excited that I haven't even really expressed the ability for people to give to this conference yet. But people have already given. As soon as they heard that we were having a conference, they were emailing us, they were calling me personally, and they were saying, I'm sowing into this. I am believing in what God is going to do in West Virginia. So please know, this is an opportunity right now to give. My team is putting a comment in the comment section with a link. That link will take you to a place where you can give on our website, and you can give directly to the Firebrand Conference, and you can make that known right there exactly how you're giving. And so I want to explain that link to you before you don't click on it till the video goes off, of course, but that link will stay there. We're going to pin it to the top so you can see that. But again, there have been people from the moment I launched this conference who have said, we're going to sow into this because we believe in what Jesus is going to do that weekend in the young people, in the church, in the saints, in everybody that shows up. And so here's how you can do that. Here's how you can support this assignment that the Lord has given our ministry, you can click on that link. And what it's going to do is take you to our website where you can click, it'll take you to the giving page where you can give a one-time gift. And when you get to the giving page, there's a drop-down menu. I think one of them says, general fund. One of them says Compass Club, which is our Bible club for students. And then there's one that says Fall Firebrand Conference. You can give directly to that. It'll go right to a fund for the Firebrand Conference. And I'm excited to share with you that several $1,000s have already been raised to support this. But I'll tell you what I'm believing for. I am believing to walk into the Marriott on October 27th with every bill that we currently have so far paid for. I want to walk into that event and say that we don't owe anything on this event. We are ready to freely run after what Jesus is doing in the region. And so you have an opportunity to help us with that by sowing a seed. If we would have charged, we probably could have paid it off. And many conferences do charge, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's just that the Lord asked me not to. He specifically said this is a free conference for firebrands across the state. And so if you want to help us, get this mission off the ground, you can sow in the link that's in the comments section. If you're watching on YouTube, the comments section will have that link there as well. But we're so excited for what Jesus is doing. Thank you for joining me tonight. Thank you for sharing this with your friends and your families and your churches. Jesus is up to something great in the Mountain State, and I'm excited to see so many of you have commented and expressed your excitement and your interest in this. Don't forget to register. Of course, if people show up and they haven't registered, that they will obviously be able to come into the conference, but seating is limited. We only have about 550 or maybe a little bit less. We only have about 550 or less seats in the room. And so almost 400 of them have already been taken up with those tickets. We just want to have an accurate head count. So make sure that you register, and you'll see when you register that you can only register 10 people at a time, and that's just so somebody doesn't go on there and register for 200 tickets. I want my numbers to be as accurate as possible. And so if you've registered for 10, you better bring 10. You better carpool, get a church van, and bring as many people as you can. But we are excited for what's coming up in Charleston, West Virginia. I'm excited for what's coming up next weekend in Sandusky. I'm excited about what Jesus is doing all over the region, and I'm excited to be a part of it. And one more thing, at this Firebrand Conference, I have many partners of our ministry. I think we have right at 100 or a little bit less partners that sow into this ministry every single month. When you click on that giving link, you will see a section to partner. We're going to have a special partners gathering. I believe if I wrote, let me see if I wrote that down. Yes, at 5:30 on Saturday. So on the 28th, the Saturday services between the 2 o'clock and the 7 at 5:30, we're going to have a special partners gathering. I've got a surprise for you partners that some gifts to give you, and we're going to be talking with them about vision. Come if you're a partner watching this and you're coming to the conference. Come with questions. We're going to talk to the partners. My team is going to be there. My board of directors is going to be there. Everybody that makes this ministry, makes the wheels on this bus go round. They're going to be in the room with us, and because you need to see all the work that goes on behind the scenes. I have a fantastic team. I am blessed with a group of people that make this ministry go forward. You see my face on Facebook Live. What you don't see is the amazing people behind the scenes that make this happen. And so we're grateful for what Jesus is doing here. Thank you for helping us make this mission possible. And I can't wait to see you in Sandusky, or especially at the Firebrand Conference, because revival's coming to your area. You can be sure if you come to this conference, you're going to leave as a witness to what Jesus is doing. So God bless you. I love all of you. Thank you for keeping up with what we're doing. And I will see all of you very soon. God bless you.